So if you go to sportscardstrategy.com, you can click on the link to join our Facebook group. I will accept you, and then you can ask questions that will get answered on the show. And so Ben Albury, one of our newest members, has asked the question in our Facebook group for Sports Card Strategy. New to the group, thanks for accepting me. With the backlog on PSA grading and other grading companies coming out, how do you rank the value of PSA, Beckett, and other companies like CSG? And then we had some good answers from our readers. Tam Nguyen said, from a resale point of view, number 1 PSA, number 2 BGS, number 3 SGC, although vintage would go number 2 over BGS, and then CSG. And then he adds that he likes CSG for his PC nowadays because of the price. So actually couldn't have put it any better myself, Tam. And then we had John Dudley kind of rank them: PSA, SGC, BGS, the rest. And so what I just want to add to this is I look at this as two separate questions, and I think that the waters get muddied a lot on a lot of other sports card podcasts and sports card content. So I want to clearly define the two separate questions. So one question is, who should I submit my cards to have them graded if they're raw right now to increase the chances that they would have value on the secondary market? To me, the only answer is SGC. The only answer is SGC, and that's strictly because for $30 a card, that is a viable price to pay, and you get your cards back still in a quick enough time period to where the card really still has the same relevance that it did when you had it graded. So PSA, you'd have to pay $100 for that right now, and there is no other option lower than $100 to get your cards back. So because that's such a wide margin, it's a $70 differential. And so that's $70. Like, you don't make $70 on a lot of these transactions from a profit standpoint. So that's why I think SGC is really the only option. I think CSG does not have the resale value, nor will it. And so if I'm getting my cards graded, I'm only sending them to SGC right now. The exception is that if you hit like a incredible banger and the raw value of that card is already like $500, and so sending it to PSA for $100 makes more sense than sending it to SGC for $30. That'd be the only exception to that. Now, the second question, though, that's different is when you're buying cards on the secondary market, which is what I talk about mostly on the show. Mostly on the Sports Card Strategy show, I talk about buying singles on the secondary market on eBay or MySlabs or whatever. And so in that case, here's my philosophy. I consider PSA 10, SGC 10, and BGS 9.5 all equal investments. They're all gem mint, and they're all reputable grading companies that have a strong resale market. Like, there are people out there that will buy your SGC slabs. Everyone will buy your PSA slabs, and mostly everyone will buy your BGS slabs. And so they're all gem mint, and because they're all gem mint, I kind of look at it like, ideally I want a PSA 10, but if I see a BGS 9.5 for a significant price break, like if I see it for, say, 30% less in the same card than the PSA 10, then I make the assumption that that's a great investment because it's still a gem mint, and there are BGS enthusiasts out there that will pay top dollar. So there's kind of profit margin built in. SGC, same thing. So if I see an SGC 10, my assumption is that I'm going to be paying less than a PSA 10, but there might be some SGC enthusiasts out there that are willing to make up that difference for me. So there's kind of profit margin built in. And also that SGC slabs values will continue to rise because the acceptability factor will only be more and more positive because SGC really has been grading more cards. And although it might be, flooding the market, I think what that does is it creates more of an acceptability factor for the SGC brand. So I think that hopefully that second question you see as different than the first question and that it all makes sense. And I'd love your feedback on this. So drop a comment below if you're watching on YouTube. Tweet at No Offseason Card if you're listening on the podcast. And definitely go to sportscardstrategy.com and click to join the Facebook group and subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, moving along to another audience question. This one's from the YouTube channel and our guy Chris Olivo. So Chris was talking on one of the YouTube videos about the Hall of Fame vote, which is about to be wrapped up here soon. And if you don't know, this is the last year on the ballot for Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds, and it's the first year on the ballot for David Ortiz and Alex Rodriguez. And the reason why that's all significant is because they're all performance-enhancing drug guys, right, for lack of a better term. And so Chris is talking about wanting to buy Clemens and Bonds cards in the hopes that they get into the Hall of Fame, but wondering if he should do it now because really the only spike would happen after the announcement, which is imminent. And so my point to him is that I would wait a couple years because I just think that these guys, their cards are always going to be available and there's always going to be controversy surrounding them. And it's almost like irrelevant that Bonds and Clemens make the Hall of Fame because the hype on them is now, and the card market is all about the hype. And so the hype being now just indicates that it's a bad time to buy. It's that simple. So I told Chris in my reply on the YouTube video that that's what I would do. I would encourage him to buy, but I would wait until they're more forgotten about. And that includes when they're in the Hall of Fame, but 2 years from now they'll be forgotten about. It's the same thing as if they aren't in the Hall of Fame and 2 years from now they'll be forgotten about. So I think that now is not the time to buy any of those guys for sure, especially Clemens and Bonds. So wait, add them to your PC later, and I actually do think they could be long-term investments. Again, thanks for asking your questions, everybody. Please go to sportscardstrategy.com and subscribe to the YouTube channel and the Facebook page. All right, that's a wrap for the Sports Card Strategy Show. We're starting off the year with a bang. Coming up in the next couple episodes, we will have some co-hosts to help me break things down. And I'd like to say a special thank you to the sponsor of today's show, MarketMoversApp.com by Sports Card Investor, the #1 place to track the data of your entire collection and your investments. Learn who to buy low and when to sell them high. Save 20% at MarketMoversApp.com by using the promo code NOOFFSEASON, all lowercase. And when you combine that with our sports card investment report at NOOFFSEASON.com/invest, you have the best toolkit to make money on your sports card investments. I'm Paul Hickey with NOOFFSEASON.com. Thanks for listening to the Sports Card Strategy Show, everybody. Have a great day.